Good evening. 10 years after the catastrophic impact of Super Typhoon Yolanda in Visayas, President Bongbong Marcos emphasizes the significance of integrating climate change into the formulation of national policies and strengthening the country's disaster preparedness. During the 10th year Yolanda commemoration in Tacloban City, Marcos acknowledges that Yolanda was the onset of the worst effects of climate change.
It is also crucial to be reminded that climate change will keep exacerbating the impact of natural disasters. As I have said, we must make climate change a vital component of our national policies. We must make sure that we apply our knowledge on climate change to every plan, to every decision and initiative, so we can build stronger and more resilient communities.
Marcos says the government continues to build disaster-resilient evacuation centers and emergency operations centers, as well as put into place centralized and efficient early warning systems and disaster response strategies in an effort to address similar tragedies in the future. In remembering the devastation left by Yolanda, Marcos highlights the bayanihan efforts of local government agencies, the public, the private sector, and even other countries.
And who could ever forget the extraordinary outpouring of love, of help, and compassion that came from all over the country and from all over the world. The aid that came from all directions, the volunteerism, the heroism that overflowed in the affected areas, specifically in the rehabilitation of Tacloban. Indeed, what we saw back then was the spirit of bayanihan in its truest form.
For her part, Vice President Sara Duterte underscores the Filipinos' extraordinary resilience and strength during the national disaster. She also highlights the importance of disaster risk reduction, climate change mitigation, and disaster preparedness.
It is crucial that we learn from the lessons of the past and take proactive steps to prevent such catastrophic events from happening again. Likewise, by investing in resilient infrastructure, early warning systems, and education on disaster preparedness, we can safeguard our communities and mitigate the impact of future calamities.
Former President Rodrigo Duterte says he is wondering how he was dragged into the alleged destabilization scheme against the administration of President Bongbong Marcos. In his radio program, Duterte recalls that he indeed spoke with some retired generals but rebuffed hints that he may have been involved in the alleged anti-Marcos administration plot. He says he only talked to the retired military about corruption as what would bring the government down the drain. According to Duterte, he might have been misquoted. The former president also says he has nothing to say about Marcos, who he believes is not corrupt. Last November 3, Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo Bronner Jr. revealed the supposed destabilization moves against the administration. The alleged scheme was purportedly being hatched by some retired military officers. But the AFP subsequently clarified that Bronner was only misquoted on the matter and that there was no such plot. Senator Imee Marcos says she will support former President Rodrigo Duterte even if she is the only one left to do so. In a statement, the senator says she is like her father, former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., who would stand up for true friends through thick and thin. According to her, real unity is not unity that is just lip service. Rather, it means being one. Senator Marcos says she was the first and lone governor in 2015 to support Duterte, who was then reported to be gunning for the presidency in the 2016 election. She adds she will always support Duterte even if she will be the last one standing. Marcos says she will never be silent about treasons and blasphemies aimed at Duterte, who honored her father when the former president allowed the late dictator Marcos Sr. to be buried at the libingan ng mga bayani. The senator also refers to former President Duterte and his daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, as her friends in developing the country. The Commission on Elections announces that the special elections to fill the vacant post of expelled Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Teves will no longer push through on December 9, 2023. Comelec says it received House Resolution number 154 urging the poll body to reconsider its resolution for the conduct of the special election in the 3rd District of Negros Oriental, given all existing circumstances and predicament in the province. According to Comelec Chairman George Garcia, the resolution effectively recalls House Resolution number 136, which called for the conduct of the special election.
Therefore, in recognition of the legislative power of Congress, the No Department and the NBAC decided to cancel the conduct of the special election in the 3rd Legislative District of the province of Negros Oriental, and for the Commission to discontinue its ongoing preparation for the said special elections.
Garcia assures the public that the Comelec had not yet expended a substantial amount of funds on the preparations for the special elections, noting that the expenses hadn't even reached the ₱1 million mark yet. He also explains that only Congress has the authority to both initiate and cancel a special election.
The Comelec will just implement the mandate of the House of Representatives in this respect, sapagkat miyembro po kasi nila ito. So this involves a question of membership, and this should be resolved by the House of Representatives.
9 persons under police custody escaped from the custodial facility of Manila Police District Station 1 in Tondo, Manila. In a report, the Manila Police District says the 9 detainees broke out of the facility at around 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday. According to the Manila Police District, initial investigation showed that the detainees managed to break the iron grill at the side portion of the jail facility to make their escape. Police say 5 were rearrested while an extensive manhunt operation was launched to capture the remaining detainees. The Philippine National Police says 2 witnesses in the case of missing beauty queen Catherine Camilon have come forward to help authorities. Citing a report from the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Calabar Zone, PNP spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo says the 2 unnamed witnesses surfaced after they asked the public for help. According to the report, the 2 witnesses claim they saw 3 men allegedly transferring the body of Camilon to another vehicle. However, Fajardo says they have yet to confirm if it was really Camilon the witnesses saw. Fajardo says the vehicle in the witness's description matched the Nissan Juke Camilon was driving on the day she disappeared. She adds that the witnesses were unable to come forward immediately out of fear as the suspect reportedly pointed a gun at them. Earlier, authorities identified a police officer as a person of interest in Camilon's disappearance. The unnamed cop was relieved from his post and transferred to the PNP Criminal Investigation Field Unit, Calabar Zone Personnel Holding and Accounting Unit's custody. State seismologists say no tsunami threat is expected in the country following the magnitude 6.9 earthquake that jolted the Banda Sea in Indonesia on Wednesday. According to PHIVOLCS, the earthquake was detected at the Banda Sea at 12:53 p.m. on Wednesday. It had a depth of 10 kilometers. In an advisory, PHIVOLCS says there is no destructive tsunami threat following the earthquake. Indonesia, along with the Philippines, is frequently struck by earthquakes because of its location in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. President Bongbong Marcos says 40 Filipinos managed to exit Gaza. Unemployment rate inches up to 4.5% in September. And Comelec cancels special elections to replace expelled Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnie Teves. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Imee Marcos. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.